Hi, I'm Art.
And I am Tony.
And we're here from gardenmasters.com.
Look around us.
Oh my goodness, there's leaves coming down and we have our boots on.
Must be fall.
It's wet out here.
And you know what? Today we're going to show you a fall garden planting and how you can transform your summer gardens into fall beauties.
And one of our clients,
yep,
we actually have a few of them. They always like to celebrate the 4 seasons with different displays.
They sure do. This particular client has a daycare, and we're going to take you along on our job to show you what we do for this client. In fact, most commercial landscape companies, if not all, do this. If you ride around to commercial properties like office parks, hotels, different commercial properties, you'll see them with summer annuals in the summer, and about this time of the year, they switch to fall annuals. And then come April or May next year, they're back to summer annuals.
Wait a minute, you forgot Christmas.
Oh yeah,
the winter
Christmas.
Holiday, that's the 4th season. They like holiday decorations.
Yes. So anyway, come along with us at our client's property so you can see what most commercial landscape companies do and what we do for our clients, because they really love it. Now there's one thing we don't do,
and that is we don't add soil amendments at this time of year.
Yeah, you know, we advise you normally to add soil amendments, but you know, this client, we've been planting for over 20 years. And her soil is very, very good, because we used to add soil amendments a lot, didn't we?
Yes, yes.
You know, good.
And so this time of year, we're just going to add some fertilizer to get those pansies alive and growing through the season. When it's warm, they're going to absorb that fertilizer.
Yes, so stay tuned and watch, and be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'd love it. So here's the garden. Beautiful coleus, don't you think? These are just gorgeous. They've really grown beautifully over the summer. And these New Guinea impatiens are doing really well too. The problem is we got a frost coming. As a matter of fact, it might be in a couple of days. So all this is going to be dead. So we're going to have to pull it out today, and we're going to plant pansies, which will survive a frost, survive the winter, and be back in bloom next spring. So this is the garden that we're about to transform. Step 1 is to remove the summer annuals, and that's what Art's doing now. Notice how we use a mulch bag to hold the debris. It's good to recycle mulch bags like that, and that's what we do. Look at those roots on those coleus.
That was all one plant.
Wow. When you're pulling out summer annuals, always try to pull out the entire root ball.
I forgot those balls were underneath there, Tony.
This client has a lot of neat garden decor items. These silver balls being one of them. Look at this coleus here.
Wow. Hey, check out the fountain back there. Cool. So tranquil. Very nice. Very nice.
I don't think I've ever seen coleus this big. I guess I have, but they just seem humongous this year.
You know why?
Why that? I do know why.
Irrigation every day.
Watering every single day. Every single day.
It only takes a little bit. That's the secret.
We have it set up on time. Step number 2 is putting a fresh edge on the garden. If you're doing a garden renovation, it's always good to do a fresh edge because it just makes the garden crisp and clean. Art's cleaning out the edge now that I just edged with a spade.
And what I want to do, even though this is steep right here, I want to try to get this top area so it's kind of more level. And
that tells you right there that step number 3 is to level the garden.
So one advantage of a bed that is raised like this is you get to see the flowers much better.
Exactly. That's why beds should be raised slightly.
So keep in mind, you don't want a raised bed around a tree. There's a tree there, but I always make sure that you can see. That's where I try to keep it. So we're not building up on the tree. So raised beds around tree rings, no, no, no. So these little guys are grubs.
You just found those in the garden, huh?
I just found them in the garden. And usually you'll quite often see them in the lawn. And these little buggers, they eat the roots off the plants. So you need to treat them to get rid of them. And especially, oh, he's going to stretch out. He's thinking that winter's over. Oh, spring, wake up. So if you see these little guys present when you're doing this planting, just throw them really hard on the pavement and they'll explode and they'll be done.
They'll explode like a firecracker. Osmocote, slow release fertilizer for plants. We always do this as the next step. This is the bottle of Osmocote, which we're applying in step number 4. The bed is now ready for planting. The first plant is tulips. The second plant is pansies.
If you've never planted a tulip bulb before, always keep in mind that the point side needs to be up. That is where the green leaves and the flower comes out of. The bottom side has these little areas
where the roots come out.
Where the roots come out, but they have little bumps here. But you see, there's no point. So that needs to go in to be rooted. And I tell you, if you turn it on its side, like that, it's just going to take longer, but that plant will actually come out and go up.
Yeah.
Planting tulips in groups of 5s. So we're going to have yellow and purple pansies with shades of red and pink and yellow tulips in the groups, and they will grow up and above, but really add some interest. Oh, there's a tulip, an old tulip. Purposely planting these in the back because we put annual flowers out here and we don't want to be disturbing them. Tulips don't tend to be a hybrid year after year, so you really want to keep them in the ground for 2 or 3 years and then replant, because each year they get smaller. So if I was planting daffodils that reproduce the same size every year and they add more bulbs to them, I'd be planting them further apart.
As I cover the holes, I'm just making sure the bed's level.
And
not level, but just smooth on the top.
they recommend planting bulbs 6 inches deep if you're in a little bit milder climate. You don't really have to go that deep. I'd probably go 4 to 5 inches.
And now for the beautiful pansies.
We bought pots that are like quart-sized pots, and since there's 3 plants, we're going to get more mileage out of these plants.
And we have a video exactly about this called Planting Annuals. So check the link that will appear on the screen or the link in the description, and you'll find out more about how to divide plants and get more for your money. Here's Art starting the process of planting the pansies.
So we're planting these so the base of the plant is right at the soil line. These taller plants, you might have to squeeze it up a little bit so they don't flop over. What's fun about pansies, Tony, is
What's that?
the fact that you have large beds, you can do all one color in the bed. You know, it's generally best smaller beds, medium beds, to keep to 2 colors, because it draws your attention to them, but it doesn't look busy. So it's always fun choosing your colors to go together and having a different look. So, as you notice as I'm planting, it isn't perfect lining up or whatever. What I try to do is, you know, I'm just planting them as I go, but, you know, this plant is halfway in between that one, this one's halfway in between that one, this one is floppy. So anyways,
Yeah, it's just nature. Everything doesn't grow in perfect patterns.
but you get more bang for the buck by alternating them. So come spring, when these come on solid, this whole bed will be so I don't know if we've mentioned yet that pansies, they're an annual. They can be considered as a perennial, but they do not like hot weather. They like it cool. So that's why they thrive over the winter. And these plants are blooming now. If we get a hard frost, the flowers will disappear, but the plant will still survive. And then during the winter time, if you get a stretch of around the 50s, you'll actually get blooms in the middle of the winter.
Last step, mulch.
Wow, this is like a spring garden. Are you sure it's October 15th, Tony? Wow. Everybody's gardens are looking old and worn out.
Not this one.
We're giving life.
Of course, mulch should, I spread the mulch by hand in flower gardens because you need to really get it around flowers. Because the main purpose of mulch, as I said before, is to keep the moisture in, and the moisture needs to be in near the flower roots, right?
That's right.
It's important to get around the plants, but not too deep.
One thing really nice about pansies is this time of year, it's pretty moist. The garden, it is not drying out from the hot sun and the hot days. So it's rare that you would ever have to water pansies.
That's right.
Especially if you're getting them in the middle of October.
We're so excited to show you the final reveal. And this is the final transformed garden from summer to fall.
And winter.
And winter. And spring. You can subscribe to our gardening tips newsletter by going to gardenmasterswithaz.com/subscribe or watch these other top videos on our channel.